What's up, everyone? Welcome to the 16th episode of Trench Talk. My name is Anonymous22 with my two usual co-hosts, NRV and LTR. LTR, how are you doing today?
Doing well. My eyes hurt. I was just on Soul Scan for 3 hours before this. Pretty zooted off caffeine. Doing the RTR bounty via Arkham. Otherwise, it's been a interesting week. I think that's the best way to describe it. As far as all the chain hopping and whatnot, just all the events that have happened. But things are looking up. Bitcoin's looking good. Market looking up. Hopefully, we can just congregate on a single chain. So all the liquidity can not be dispersed, and that would be great. Thank you, guys.
No, wait. You said you don't want PvP? Wow. Imagine asking for something that's not possible. NRV, how are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. I couldn't agree more with LTR. I was actually away for the weekend when all the Tron shit was happening. I came back and tried to chase some trades, and then everybody got off Tron for a bit. Everything died. It looks like some stuff or some vol went to BNB, but I agree. I would love to see people unite on one chain again. Solana's been dead. It seemed like after that guy posted the interview of this dude scamming for $200,000 a month or something. The guy was wearing a mask. That pretty much seemed to mark the end of Soul season for a little bit. It kind of coincided with Tron coming out. But yeah, I've been getting murdered a bit on my spot bags, but aside from that, still in the trenches, still grinding.
Keeping at it. And alrighty, special guest this week, Mr. CoinGurruu. How are you doing today?
Yes, sir. I'm great. I'm smoking a vape, which I've been trying to quit for the last 6 years now. I'm drinking a beer. My girlfriend's upstairs building IKEA furniture, and now I'm on a podcast with you guys. So
that's far.
Yeah,
absolutely great.
I feel terrible for her. She looked at the directions and she laid the biggest fast shit on the floor, and I feel bad. I'm not helping her, but priorities are priorities. So
yeah, you gotta hit the dart and then grab a beer and just shit talk on a podcast. That's
honey. I'm hard at work here. I'm hard at work.
That's the American dream, really. I mean,
that's my Thursday night, which I wouldn't have any other way.
Have you tried to pop a Zin yet?
I've tried Zins, but the thing is that they don't give that same buzz. They only do when I'm absolutely hammered, and that only happens usually Friday and Saturdays. But the thing is, I just want to quit all around. I don't want to just substitute one problem with another problem. So I'm considering pacifiers or ring pops. So I'll just be me shit-going all day, sucking on a binky.
That's a good visual.
Dude, I recommend gum. I think I chew 5 packs of gum a day. I'm not gonna lie, but it keeps me from other things. So
yeah, dude. Sunflower seeds.
Oh yeah, but then I just got a brand new house, so my whole house is gonna be a mess. Be fucking barbecue powder everywhere. But but yeah, I need to do something because I want to be able to survive through the end of this bull market if I don't get popcorn lung and die of a punctured lung in the next 6 months. So if we could send Tau to 10K before that happens, then I'll be a very happy person.
Yeah, we have a lot of huge whales listening to this podcast, so I think they would. I think they would oblige.
Yes, buy the Bitcoin of AI, everybody. That'll be my one coin shill on this entire podcast. Even though I'd love to show you guys my bags, but I won't do that. I'll just show them on Twitter.
You should maybe you can try fentanyl like the dev on the past Monday, Tuesday night.
I can't, man. I've lost 50, 60 pounds in the last year. I'm too skinny. If I do fentanyl, I'll just croak and die.
Absolutely beautiful.
I mean, I'm in the Pacific Northwest, so you just look like every other person I see across the street. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I don't dress. I dress nice though. I don't dress like I just rolled out of Goodwill.
But alrighty, man. Would you be interested in giving kind of a brief background about yourself?
Yeah. Awesome. My name is CoinGurruu. I'm a piece of toast on Twitter. My journey started on Reddit in 2017. The way I got into crypto is actually an interesting story. It's not typical, I saw some pay group chill on TikTok, then bought it, then somehow got involved. It was, I used to play a lot of World of Warcraft. I played for 16 years, and I was the #1 gold farmer on my server out of 650,000 people. I was running 15 accounts, 15 different bots. I was made a bunch of money, bought my first car selling gold to people over in China. And I used to farm gold with this kid named Joe, and he was from Detroit. And his mom was a crazy pillhead, serious Oxycontin. They were relatively homeless, lived in the hood. Detroit, isn't the best scenery in the entire world. And his mom would get a lot of Oxycontin, and when she was like passed out from doing Oxy, he would go into her room and steal all of her Oxycontin and sell it on the streets, then buy Bitcoin. So back in 2012, when the only thing I knew about computers was PvPing and WoW and selling gold and all that nonsense, he told me to buy Bitcoin in 2012. Like, I didn't have a lot of cash. I was selling drugs at that point, so all my cash was just getting recycled back into buying weed. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but I'm going to say it anyway. So I never actually had the chance to set up and buy
This
Bitcoin.
was all in GTA, by the way. Just
Yes,
this was in GTA, Grand Theft Auto.
So in November, it was like, I think 3-4 days before Thanksgiving in November 2017, and I haven't heard from this guy in 5 years, and he was like, buy Bitcoin. And this is when Bitcoin, I think it was like 6-7K before the run to 20K. And obviously this guy has been holding Bitcoin for a long period of time. I think Bitcoin in 2015 was in the like 100 to $400 or something like that. And he told me to buy Bitcoin, so like it caught my attention because I was drinking a bunch of red wine in some country, and I had nothing better to do. So I looked into it, and then I didn't have a lot of money, so I looked into quote unquote the digital silver of cryptocurrency, which at that time was Litecoin. And then I put $1,000 in, bought Litecoin, and went to like 200, sold that, had 3K at that point. Then I found Justin Sun, which is actually another topic of the podcast tonight. Then I found Justin Sun. I fell in love with the guy. He was like the freaking Chinese oligarch, and back when you're young and you just get into the space, you have some guy that goes on podcasts and talks about how he's Jack Ma's prodigy and he's some like freaking super rich dude from China. You just fall in love with the guy. So then I found Binance and then rotated all of my Litecoin money into TRX, and then what's that guy's name? John McAfee did the coin of the day for TRX. I don't know if you guys were around in crypto back then, but he used to like go on Twitter and do the coin of the day. They'd pump like freaking 3,000-4,000%. He did the coin of the day on TRX, and it pumped from like 26 sats to like 4,000 sats, and I turned my 3K into like 40 something. Obviously, I sold early because you are young and you have a lot of money and you don't really know what else to do. So of course I sold early, and then from there on out, the rest is history. I could give you like a long story, but that's pretty much how I began crypto.
That was a great story with the
So
GTA
you were just, like,
into the
degenerate.
Justin Sun.
Yeah, he's just a degenerate from the absolute beginning. There was no... Yeah, I love that, honestly.
So you were
Yeah, I
farming
didn't go to
gold.
har-
You were farming gold in WoW.
Yeah, I was on a server called Kelthu's Odd. There was
Were
like
you botting?
Yeah, I had this. There was this bot called like Bumblebee or something, and I had like my one-man account, and I set it up so I had all 14 accounts running on like some shitty Dell laptop from 2006, and all the accounts would work together, and they would send items from one account to the other. Then I would just craft, and I had a bot selling at the auction house all day long, and I pretty much controlled the auction house, and I was making disgusting amounts of gold, and I made like $20,000 in high school selling gold.
That's insane.
Which is pretty great. I mean, it doesn't seem like a lot because we're in crypto, but when you're just fucking playing a video game and you're not streaming and you're like just selling end games items,
No, that's a lot of money
back then.
from WoW Guild. Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, bro, $1 million ain't even a lot of money, bro. It's not even a lot of money.
8 mils, nothing.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
I
Absolutely
don't even know
dog
if
shit.
$1 billion is enough to retire. I'm not going to lie.
Nope. Wrong. Absolutely wrong. But
That's how I got started.
Hey, awesome. But I guess we'll go ahead and just dive into some topics. I feel like the first one that we just have to talk about is Tron.
My gosh, bro.
Does anyone want to take a stab at it first? I mean,
I think it'd be interesting to hear like CoinGurruu talk about. Like, you're obviously in Tron way early on. Like, have you continued to trade on it?
dude.
Have you held it this whole time? Like,
No,
what
in
do you think about what's happened over the past week?
I mean, I sold Tron back in 2017, but the first time I did Tron was yesterday when I posted that coin in our Telegram chat. 'Cause I haven't bridged prior. I just refuse to bridge, man, because it's like, I don't know, rotations are just getting smaller and smaller, and if you're not there on like day one, then it's not going to be good. I think the last good like sustainable rotation to either like an L1 or L2 was probably Kanto. That was probably like the last one where it lasted at least 3 months. Otherwise, they're just like these these micro rotations. They last like 2 or 3 days. Like if you look at the top Tron coins right now, like I think it's called Sundog or some shit. Yeah, Sundog, that's down. It did like a lower high, so that's down. But yeah, I mean, I think just the ability for like Justin to become constantly a main character without getting in some kind of legal trouble is outstanding. Then also, this dude has so much goddamn money. Like he's literally just like shitting money out of every orifice in his body. And obviously, he's able to pump stuff. And I mean, if you look at the TRX weekly chart, you pretty much could have fully allocated to TRX in the beginning of this bull market, then likely outperformed like every single individual. Obviously, those outlier meme coin traders that hit like a fucking 5,000x or something like that. But yeah, and I don't think he's gonna let it die. I just don't think that it's gonna be what it was like 5-6 days ago. If he does continue to pump the chain and it's like this full blown bull season, then God bless him.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, I think we just saw it with Sundog. Like, that thing was so artificially propped up, and I'm sorry to people that, are going to get mad at me for saying that, but that thing was market made to high heaven by HTX and Justin Sun, which good on you. Good on you if you're in it, like, that's great. But I saw, like, a funny person in a group chat, they were being like, oh, institutions aren't even pumping, like, Sundog yet. They're not even in yet, and it's 200 mil. I'm like, the reason it is 200 mil is the institutions. So it was just like, I was like, yeah. I think the problem now is that there's so many coins to where Justin Sun can't really pump them all. So it's almost like, yeah, Sundog could keep going to like 5 bill, but I don't know how much trickle down effect there will be if it's pretty artificial.
Yeah, Sun Pump did more coins than Pump.fun by like 2,000 yesterday. They did like 6,000 compared to 4,000. But I mean, it's always important to look at the leaders. Like if Sundog goes to 1 billion, yeah, the chain will continue. But it's like the same thing almost happened with Whiff, right? Like once Whiff topped, Solana kind of became incredibly PvP. There was much less quote unquote organic memes. And once the leaders have a tendency to pull back, then it's just liquidity starts to just hyper gamble and kind of like spread super thin. And then then you just look at market caps. If it's like 10 million toppers, then 3 million toppers, then 1 million toppers, and everything's stopping at 200k, it's time to pack up your bags and rotate to the next Chinese chain.
I was talking to some people about like comparing what we're seeing on Tron to what we've seen on Base. Like Base has had like a couple or a few different spurts of volume that have come into it, but it's a bit different because like you can't have Coinbase buying these coins. Like Jesse Pollock will like buy a little bit of a meme coin or mint an NFT or buy an NFT or whatever, but they're not going to like market make something on their own publicly or list it on their own exchange right off the rip. Like you're going to see HTX listings, you're going to see Justin Sun like publicly buying and talking about specific coins. So I think it's unique in that regard. Obviously, the Coinbase situation is way different with the SEC regulations and everything. Like they just don't want to touch it like that.
Yeah, I saw a funny tweet from Base16Z, and it was like, Justin Sun is the best meme coin propagator because he just says, I'm going to pump it, and then it pumps. And that's like, it's so true because, like Vitalik posted that like 40-page medium or whatever trying to pump ETH. And yeah, the thing about Justin Sun is however illegal it may be, man, like that dude can pump a bag, and I respect it, honestly.
Yeah, Brian Armstrong isn't getting on Twitter and saying like, buy my 500k market cap shitter with like 20k LP pool.
No, I fucking wish you would. God.
Oh,
damn.
dude, that'd be the certified banger, man. That's like a retirement play.
How has Sahil not got his Twitter yet?
No, I know they got McDonald's. No, that wasn't McDonald's. It was some other.
Oh my gosh, the McDonald's, bro! The India crew. They posted the N-word in the McDonald's bio. That was just crazy.
Yeah, it's a bunch of Dubai dudes or India dudes with like no regulations.
Hey, I don't know. That was pretty legendary. I give respect to him. The McDonald's.
We were watching that in chat, and like somebody was like, "No, it can't be real because the Grimace doesn't come back until like March or something." And then we're like, "Yeah, that makes sense." And then they're like, "Well, look at the picture of Grimace. It's like 144p. Like, it's super low quality. It makes no sense."
Yeah, they literally just like Control-C, Control-V a random Grimace picture off Google Images. Yeah. Posted that in the pump fund. Got ready to hack. It's like, oh my gosh, that's so good. And they flexed because they made like 700k. I'm like, you hacked McDonald's and made 700k. I don't know. It feels like kind of a fumble.
You got to think about it though. The McDonald's demographic likely doesn't have a lot of money. Like people with a lot of money
That's true.
aren't going to McDonald's.
That's
Dude.
true.
They're eating like rare Wagyu steaks. So $500K for McDonald's, yeah. If they hack like fucking Carbone or something, sure. Could have.
Yeah, they hacked Nobu, bro, and just like, oh my gosh. That's what they gotta
made
do.
a little bit more money.
Hack the Jersey mics or some shit.
Yeah, but do I think Tron will continue? I think there's still money to be made there. I mean, there's always money to be made on every chain. It's just like you have to pay extra attention. It's I just want conditions where you don't have to be scanning like 9 Telegram chats, looking for different pings, like just checking fucking supply distro like every second, just like checking who's shilling, checking if the devs are selling. It's so goddamn PvP. But I don't think it's gonna change just because the average market participant has just gotten so much more advanced that I think that PvP is pretty much like ingrained within the system now, unless we get some form of exit liquidity from normies. But dude, normies are so goddamn broke, man. My friends work like 80 hours a week and they can't even afford like rent, or they can't even afford houses, and they're all like 28 years old.
I was talking to my friend about this. I'm like, why would retail get, try and onboard to like Solana or whatever when they can just bet on LeBron James? Like I feel like sports betting being so popular this cycle has a lot to do with like, I don't know if we see as much retail adoption. I think we see institutional for sure, and we already have. But like most of my friends who do want to gamble just sports bet or whatever, like they know about crypto and they know money to be made there, but they already know so much about the NBA or the NFL that they're like, why would I try and learn something new when I can just gamble here? And I also agree with you, like, dude, the average person right now is hurting, as sad as it is, and I feel like unless we get the stimmies or something, I don't know if retail is really going to pump your bags.
It's like this weird equation where, sure, if they come home from work and they can spend 2-3 hours on crypto and have a decent chance of making money, but then if you wake up the next day, do your 9 to 5, wake up, there's a good chance your bag's going to be zero. So you essentially need like every single person on planet Earth to inject liquidity at once to make it PvE, but that's just not going to happen. First, you could sit down and watch, the tail end of a baseball game, and you could rip a sick parlay, potentially make like 1,000x, and then that's your time. Then you just go to bed. You're not sleeping nights stressing about whether or not your shitcoin got rugged by some devs, and then the dev wound up CTOing, and then they CTO'd again. There's like 9 CTOs later, and you've already lost all your money.
Yeah,
it's an interesting thing because like. I actually recently just started a job for not like financial reasons, almost just kind of like personal future reasons. Because this is probably a good subject that I don't think we should get into here. But it's like, will these opportunities like still be around the next 5-10 years? And my question was, and my thought process was, I don't know. So I'm young and I wanted to start building a resume, so I did that. And it's very interesting because like I got my paycheck and I'm just like, man, you can't really just live off of just this. Like it's crazy, really, really, really crazy. Like people need to find extra things of income, and it's hard for me to understand because it's like, oh, I make a decent amount doing crypto, but like LTR says, like people just want to do like fucking sports betting or just like the most stupid shit. I don't understand how like sports betting got so normie popular. We need to find out how they did that and implement it via crypto.
Yeah, people are betting on like fucking like women's cricket, pickleball.
Yeah,
the stupidest shit ever.
Dude,
I think it's mostly because it became like fairly legal across most of the U.S. Like it just wasn't for a very long time. Now it's just like easily accessible. Like most states, I think, have it now, and you can just download any of like multiple different apps. Like the only thing that used to be legal was like the daily fantasy sports stuff, but like even those apps have their own sports books now. Like you can gamble on DraftKings, you can gamble on FanDuel Sportsbook, so it's just more accessible. I think that's what it is. You had to like use a VPN and do illegal shit in the past, or have a bookie.
I also think this plays into Polymarket and the explosion we've seen there. Like I saw something today where it's like Polymarket is really the only crypto product and project we've seen that has like a PMF beyond normal crypto people so far this cycle. Like, I mean, Hyperliquid is doing great, but that's just crypto people, and all these things are doing great, but it's mostly just crypto people, whereas like Polymarket seems to be the only thing that really is getting adoption beyond the natural CT sphere.
I actually have a lot of normie friends that are familiar with Polymarket.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
a great
they've gotten more
platform.
into it because of like just the political scene with like the election coming up. It's definitely taken center stage in a certain regard. But, like, I'll have like group chats with friends and they're fucking talking about Polymarket. I'm like, how the hell do they hear about this?
I'm pretty sure there's going to be a token too. I may have heard that somewhere. I cannot confirm or deny these rumors, but I may have heard that. But even like Kai Cenat, I think that's his last name, was on Polymarket on a live stream with like 300,000 people betting on like the most ridiculous shit. I mean, the whole tampon bet thing was crazy too.
I didn't
Such
see
a
that.
great marketing scheme. Yeah, that was
A tampon
genius
bet?
by them.
You
Yeah,
didn't
so
see that?
No.
yeah, so Trump basically says tampon a lot for some reason in his speeches. So there was like Polymarket over under on whether he'd say it in the speeches, and
What
you know, it
context
kept
does he even
hitting.
say tampon?
I don't know, man. It's
It
Trump,
was something
bro.
about like something about these liberal schools putting tampons in men's bathrooms or something like that.
Great.
Oh, okay. I can see that now.
Yeah, and
That's
that just
insane.
and he like whispered it or something. He's like, "There should not be tampons in men's bathrooms." And people made a lot of money. I think it was like a 6x multiple, which is decent.
Yeah.
You're not hitting. The thing is, you're not hitting like 1,000x's on there, but
Yeah.
there's some good. There's some good like liquid like 2-3x's.
I think that's how much shitcoins have ruined me, though. Like, I'll hear like, "Oh, it's a free 6x." I'm like, bro,
like,
I don't
that's
want a
not enough.
free 6x. Like, that's too much time. I'm wasting my time
Which
here.
is
Like,
crazy because like the
I know.
SP 500, it's like an average of a 10% return a year.
I
And like
know.
normies who like allocate 10% of their salary to their 401k to squeeze 10%, they're like fucking at home, like totally euphoric, like splurging on a night out just because their stocks are up 2% in a day.
yeah, someone will be like, "This is a free 2x." I'm like, okay, then I'm not buying. Like, I'm not interested in that.
Yeah, give me 1,000 extra glory.
Yeah, yeah. The making like a super large amount and then just trying to make the small amounts definitely like fucks with you mentally. At least it does for me. Where it's like, oh, I just want to like somehow one up like the previous win that I have. So it, it's like, oh yeah, I almost like don't realize how like a 2, 3, 4x is like good fucking money still, especially on like. Hey, it's a couple $100 or a couple $1,000.
Yeah, it could be like 5K. I mean, like,
yeah,
and you don't
it's
realize
just, like,
like,
fucking mind broken.
yeah, it's like it's almost like, oh, that's not worth my time anymore, which it totally is. It's just this whole like, you go from like a 6-figure dub, and then you're like, oh, is it really worth my time? Grinding for 5K, 10K, and then you realize like minimum wage in some states is like $8, and then you're like, okay, well, I'm kind of just being a stuck up little Nancy here.
That's why
Yeah.
leverage trading is so bad because I
Oh
guarantee
gosh, bro.
some of you have leverage traded before. Like back in
Yes.
2021, I was doing like low 7-fig leverage trades, and now if I leverage trade, I'm not good at it anymore. I mean, I can be good, I just don't put the time in. But if I want to put money in, I'm not gonna risk putting like 50 to 100K into a T3 exchange that is just like no KYC, that's super shady. And then, so I'm going to put like 5K in, but I want to get to that size that I was once trading. So I'm going to be using like 50 or 100x leverage. And because if you're leverage longing 30K on ETH, it goes up 3%, you're making $900. Like, you shill a ref link on Twitter if you want $900. This might sound super shitty. That might sound super shitty of me to say, but I don't think any normies are listening to this, but so crypto people will. But yeah, you're not gonna get that satisfaction. That's why I just stopped leverage trading, because you can like still like even with these like these soul shitters, these low caps, you could still hit like 1-2 soul trades, which is not a lot of risk, and you can still pull out like 5 to 10K every single time, which is still great. Because just think about it, a soul goes to $1,000. If you made that 3 soul, that's 3K right there. It's a lot of cheddar.
Yeah, I think like also leverage trading isn't as fun. Like the people who do make a lot of money, like Smartest Money and all these people, they're like spending like 3 days building a $30 million position. They have to sit at their computer and just stare at like their in silico terminal all day for like execution and stuff. I don't know. It's like I'd rather be buying fun animal tickers and trying to hit that like 2000x. I don't know. It's just like it's more dopamine or something.
I mean, it's probably more fun for them with the success rate.
Oh yeah, I mean they hit so often. It's like their success rate is definitely different than ours.
So,
Mine
Corey,
is just-
how long have you been full time in in trading crypto?
I walked upstairs in June 2020, told my mom I was dropping out of college. She cried. My dad said, "Fuck it, Guru. Believe in yourself.
What a goat.
Take a chance."
Fuck it,
Leslie
Guru.
Johnson. And yeah, it's
Take a chance.
because yeah, I pretty much made no money between 2018 and 2020, and then in 2020, when I was really drunk one night, I leveraged long like pretty much my entire net worth on BitMEX when I was blacked out, and I entirely forgot about it. And then a day later, it was, I don't know if you guys were trading back then, but it was when Bitcoin went from like 9,300. It was pretty much going sideways like all spring, and then went from 9,300 to 11,600, and I was like, fuck, dude, I didn't leverage long. And then a day later, I logged in my BitMEX account, and I was up like 6 figs. And I was like, okay, now I have some money to play with. And I think that was after COVID. Yeah, after COVID. So I was inside anyway. And then I rotated all that money into Cake at like 70, 80 cents, staking for like 500% APR on Binance Smart Chain. Then Cake went from like 70 cents to what, $40 when I was making like, I don't even know, dude, like freaking 500 cake a day or something like that. And then I made like high 7 figures, and then I lost it all. And then I built it back up. Like October 2022, I had $750 in my name. Which is crazy.
I think you almost like have to have a couple almost zeroing your port moments just to build character and have strength.
100%.
Yep. You just have to learn. You just have to like, oh fuck, I like almost nuked myself. Like 2020, I literally had I think I had a 300k port off NFTs in 2021, which was like my first year doing crypto, and I was like on cloud 9. Then I fucking nuked it to about 24k after all the taxes and just crypto nuking that March, May, summer, June, I forget what it was. Yeah, that was a real humbling moment.
I remember when FTX happened, I was in AP government class and it was Roe v. Wade. And I checked my phone. Dude, oh my gosh, I panicked so hard because I couldn't really do anything. That was just a moment and a half. But yeah, if you've never like had that like guttural panic where you think you're getting drained. Like I remember one time I almost got drained for all of my ETH because I clicked a phishing link and it set the transaction in MetaMask, but I was smart enough to speed up a cancel faster than the GUI I sent the phishing transaction for, and I managed to cancel the drain. Dude, my heart was beating
scary.
Faster than
like know that.
That was crazy. I still remember that vividly. That was scary.
Yeah, never click links.
That's fucking insane.
If you haven't gone to zero with your port a few times, I mean, I would be shocked. I think most people have gone pretty damn low after being up a lot. I think it's just part of the game. It's learning the hard way. You have to like force yourself to adjust your approach, be more diligent about taking profits or risking less, understand how to size in. Like, I think we're all constantly learning and tweaking our tendencies a bit, you know?
It's so easy to make money in this space. Like, that's what I tell everybody, but it's fucking impossible to keep it. That's why this cycle, I mean, if you've been here, how many cycles you guys been here? This is going to be your second?
This is my first technically full one. I came in.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Make sure this cycle you do a better job at putting cash in the bank. Like one thing I did, like I bought a house, I bought a car, I have a bunch of cash in the bank, and like, dude, you wake up every morning, you're like, okay, this you have this like general sense of satisfaction. Then you start building just kind of like a real portfolio with some kind of stability in your life. So if shit does hit the fan, at least you have some kind of like residual income, or you're diversified in something outside of crypto. But like, definitely having cash in the bank despite having to pay taxes, like a shit ton of, I mean, you have to pay taxes anyway, but is something that everybody should strive for this cycle. It's they always say the more money you leave in crypto, like the higher chances you can make, but I just think there's so much opportunity now. There's so many different ways to make money versus like 2017 and 2020 that no matter which way you spin it, no matter how much money you take out, there's always going to be a way for you to just turn nothing into something.
That's what I think. That's the major point, is the nothing into something. It's like most other industries, you have to have a lot of money to then make a lot of money. Like the stock market and all these Warren Buffetts, it's like this exponential 1% every day. So 1% on $1 billion is a lot. But like crypto, man, you could just have like 10 Sol and then go make $1 million. I mean, is that actually going to happen? Probably not, but it's possible. And I think that's the thing that's like, I personally always stable like, I don't know, 50% of any profits I
Yep.
make because I know I can just run back up my spot bags. Like, oh, I think Sol's going to pump. Okay, well, I can always just get more Sol by trading meme coins and whatever. And I mean, that takes, skill, and that takes experience of being a good trader. But I think that's just the beauty of crypto is that, yeah, you can just like leave a little bit in crypto and run it up.
And recently, there hasn't been a lot of like liquid 10x's. There's like, sure, I mean, maybe Tau ran up from like 70 to 600. That was like a liquid 10x. But otherwise, there hasn't been any large caps moving where you could like park a substantial amount of capital in and chuck big. Give or take the occasional meme coin with like, more than 10% lick to market cap ratio. So it's mostly just like spraying and praying on, with a few $1,000, hoping to hit that like one win.
Yeah, I recently, because obviously I almost zeroed in 2022. So I was like, okay, I have, no economic cycle experience. I have no clue what the fuck's going to happen. I really don't think anyone does, honestly. I'm just going to stable 1% of my portfolio a week. Started that since January. And then now, like, you're talking about, there's not like super liquid plays, like where you can park money in and make money in. I've kind of just, traded shitcoins the past 8 months and stacked the currency that these shitcoins are in. So ETH, Solana, like the main two. And I've gotten to the point where it's like, I don't know exactly if like I should be having all this fucking money allocated to ETH and Solana. I've actually been like considering like pulling out like half of my port just to have cash this time. I also have some future events of a girlfriend coming up, so also that's a great start to our life and all of that. And I think those are things people should consider. It's like the best part about crypto is you should be using it to have a good life, right? You don't want to be super fucking allocated, gambling all your money away and just going to zero. Like, take this opportunity and like, buy things, basically. How CoinGurruu, you were saying, like a house, a car, like use it wisely.
Yeah, I know so many like people who are actually so rich, like 8 figures, but they just still live like an otaku. You know what I mean? Like they're just like eating ramen at their laptop all day every day. And it's like, well, what's the point of having, $10 million then at a certain point? Like, and I think they just treat it like an MMO. And why I think that's great is from a trading mentality to treat it more like a game. Eventually you got to enjoy life, especially with the money you make, or else like there's no point.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Well, I guess we should.
I got
Do
a
we even
question.
need it? All right. You got it.
So CoinGurruu, you were talking about like how to treat this cycle, just like general advice and whatnot. I'm curious like what your perspective is on like where we're at with this current cycle, because a lot of people maybe think it's over, but a lot of people are still calling for Bitcoin to reach new highs this cycle and for 2025 to be great. Some people call for like a retrace around election time. I'm just curious, like generally what you think as far as how long the opportunities will last in this current cycle.
I personally don't think that Bitcoin will ever experience like a true bear market again. Like I'm talking like, 80, 90% drop, whatever the fucking drawdowns were from the previous all-time highs. I
Yeah.
just think that like 2022, there was so much leverage wiped out of the system. Like everyone was just lending to somebody, and there was actually like no real money. It was just like, okay, I'm gonna invest in you, I'm gonna invest in you, or we're gonna lend your customer funds. And a lot of that stuff has luckily like left the ecosystem. So now it's just like the only pretty much leverage in the system now is just like open interest on Binance and Bybit. So the chance of like heavy liquidations, it's obviously that could happen, but that's not as probable as it was before. So yeah, I don't think Bitcoin will experience like a true bear cycle. Sure, it'll have its periods of sideways. It'll probably have like significant drawdown, but we're not going to get anything similar to FTX unless Coinbase or Binance goes under or something like that. But yeah, I think the bear cycle is going to be within altcoins, which we're kind of seeing now. Like Bitcoin's done nothing for 6 months and also down like 70% from their highs, just because it's once again like the narrative of the week. It's just like fast liquidity rotation. But where do I think we are? I don't think the cycle's over. There's probably no doubt in my mind that Bitcoin makes an all-time high. I don't think that we saw, billions of dollars of ETF flows for Bitcoin to just pause right above previous all-time highs. And I'm actually fine with Chop. I think Chop's okay. Because obviously the longer coins chop, and if it expands to the upside, like the larger and the swifter the expansion is. And once we're cleanly above all-time high, that's usually, just look at like 2017 and 2020, like December 2020. Like once you break above all-time high, that's when liquidity generally flows into the market, because it's pretty much headlines. It's like normies are talking about it more. So I think that you sell everything going into 2026. My plan was to be out of the market like 80 to 90% by August of 2025. I don't know if a lot of it has to do with who's going to be president. Like if Kamala becomes president, I think you buy the flash crash. I think that'll be a really good buy. And if I think Trump becomes president, we probably just go up only. But despite whoever becomes president, I still think that we make new highs. But yeah, even if shit does go down, dude, there's still gonna be opportunities. I mean, there was Kanto. I bridged $18 to Kanto during the peak bear market. I turned $18 into like 250K. So
That's insane.
yeah, so there's always gonna be opportunity. It's just like right now I've been pretty AFK for the last 2 months, because I don't think right now is the time to be super behind your computer and just allocating all of your time to crypto, especially if you made a decent amount of money last year. It's probably better off to chill and just wait for better PvE conditions and things just to go up. But yeah, there's always going to be opportunity, no doubt about it. It's just, I always say, stay curious, man. If something catches your attention, don't be a lazy piece of shit. Like look into it for 3 seconds, similar to what we saw with Tron, because the people who went to Tron originally made a absolute shit ton of money.
Yeah, I think Tron's a really good example of the importance of like having a growth mindset in this space and being quick to act. Like not just thinking, oh, I don't even know what wallet to use. There's no bots. Like I've never traded on Tron. I'm just gonna like wait and watch and like see if it plays out. If you're thinking that way and you see it start to happen, you're likely missing like some big opportunities. So if you see something new and interesting like that, it's probably good to force yourself to learn it quicker than most other people, because if it does take off, the people that bridge late or adapt late, they're going to be your exit liquidity, and that's ideally what you want.
Yeah, I mean, I remember we had Punlord on first guest, and he said always fade laziness. So now whenever I find myself being like that, like, oh, I don't want to bridge, that's going to be such a pain in the ass, I force myself to do it. And,
Yeah.
like, 9 times out of 10, nothing happens. And worst case scenario, I just bridge back and lose, like, only a bit on fees or whatever for the bridge. But, that 1 out of 10 times you hit the Sundog, or that 1 out of 10 times you hit Bald, or whatever it is, I think you should just always fade laziness, because if you're having that feeling about being lazy, that means probably everyone else is too, but not everyone else. Everyone else is just going to give into that laziness. So if you're the different one, then you can make a lot of money.
Those are very, very good points. Because like even for me, I was getting used to this new job, so I blame a little bit on that. Like if I was still full time crypto, I would have 100% bridged a little bit at least. But so my thought process was, I don't like TRX, like Tron as a coin as a whole, the price action it has. But I mean, you got to bid like cabals and fucking, scammers, like, or people that can pump shit like Justin Sun. Like you got to just fly into that and at least just take a chance, Always bid the scammers. Good scammers usually mean good money.
Yeah, I was back when post Pepe launch, I was super anti on chain. I'm like, everything's a goddamn scam. I'm not gonna bid this shit. It's all insiders. Devs are selling. Then I just adapted and said, okay, embrace the scam. who cares? If you can make money off a scam, then just do it and just know what you're trading. And that's the funny thing about crypto now is everybody's just kind of admitted that it's a scam and nobody really believes in the tech anymore. And I think that there might be some kind of shift to believing in the tech again. I mean, it's obviously when token price goes up, the tech makes a lot more sense, but when it's down, nobody has a tendency to believe in it. But now we've just kind of all accepted defeat that said, okay, we're all really here just hyper gamble. The only like real tech is just like ETH and Bitcoin and Solana, and everything else is just like a glorified ChatGPT white paper that's used to sell you for exit liquidity.
Yeah, I am definitely interested on like kind of utility coming back because I've seen a couple of things over the past couple of days that just some alts that have gone up a little bit or a utility coin that's gone up a little bit, and it would be interesting to see some sort of a shift change because I mean I'll be honest with you, I'm tired of bidding memes and it's starting to get pretty repetitive. There's nothing really fresh going on, so. I should have realized Tron sooner, honestly, just because like of how like I don't know gutted and redone shit, just packaged into different shit on Sol that was happening. So it was actually kind of nice having Tron as a fresh thing. But
the funny thing about Tron, I will say though, is that it like wasn't fresh. I mean, the people was fresh, like Justin Sun was fresh, but like, I mean, the main runner is just like a dog, right? That's like Solana. And then the second main runner was a Matt Fury derivative. So it's like, yeah, I mean, I guess it's kind of new, but like it just feels like the same thing again. So I agree with you. It'd be nice to see some sort of meta shift away from just like these animal memes that are just so random and not even funny. Like bring back funny memes. And I've been saying that. Like, why do the cabals always pick the most unfunny stuff?
What do you guys think we need to?
That.
What do you guys think we need to see in order for it to be like more of a risk on environment? Because like right now it feels very risk off, which means it's very PvP. People are taking profits much quicker. It's tougher to make money. It's not PvE, right? Like, what do you think we need to see in order to get a better environment like that?
Oh God, it's a loaded question. I honestly don't know anymore. Like, I don't know what's gonna make the trenches not PvP. I think Moonnet, the thing I'm building, has a good chance to kind of change the way that the trenches operate. I can't say much, but it's something that the trenches are in dire need of, where it's gonna how do I say this without saying it? It's going to solve the dilution issue within the trenches, and I think that's something they need, but it's I don't know, man. I mean, Bitcoin breaking all-time high is the obvious one.
That's the obvious one. Yeah,
that's the obvious one. And then other than that, it's just I don't even know anymore.
I think the less obvious ones are main natural runners on chains, like a Pepe or like, you know what I mean? Like SCF helped the trenches out a lot when that went to 100 mil just because it was natural. Like it wasn't a cabal bundled thing. It was just like a funny meme that ran to 100 mil. And I think anything like that where a lot of people could have gotten in early or feel like they're not being a cabal's exit liquidity when they are buying at higher market caps, I think that has a great trickle-down effect eventually. Like maybe, at first it's a lick sucker and it makes all the prices go down, but eventually it's a net positive. So I think that's a big thing as well.
I mean,
but I think yeah, go ahead.
I think that's why Tron's kind of having the pretty little successful moment, because I think everyone was fading it because it's fucking Justin Sun. We've seen shit like didn't he just get liquidated for like millions of dollars like a week or two before or some shit on that flash crash on that Monday, and then now he's like making a new like pump fund meme. Like I was like, no, fuck that scammer, and then people made money. Like people were able to hop on the wave and made money, and I think that's why like Tron has had a little more of a decent lifespan than most thought, is because people made money on that chain. That's the big thing. On ETH, people made money off Pepe. It trickles down to other things. On Sol, there was too many to count, and also there's already there's already a lot of money on the Solana chain, like compared to other chains. So that was kind of an easier one as well. And it's just whenever there's a big runner somewhere, usually that leads to more volume within that chain.
I agree. I'm hoping to see a big runner come back on Sol soon. ideally when that comes out of pump fun.
That's what I'm saying. I've been hawking Sol just because I think there's going to be something.
Time is right.
Yeah. I mean, that's when Pepe dropped. It's like nobody was on ETH, nobody was paying attention, and then suddenly they're like, "Oh, this is the Pepe that finally runs," and everyone FOMO'd in. So, I mean, Solana, I still think is just the best shitcoin chain. I think it's proven that time and time again. Even as I love ETH is one of my favorite things to trade on, but just how fast Solana is, how easy it is, I still think it's going to be the number one like small shitcoin chain. I think like util and larger liquidity stuff is definitely going to be on ETH, but I do think there's going to be a runner on Sol soon. I have no insider information on one. I'm just saying I think there's going to be one.
Well, if you do get some insider information, make sure to hit my DMs, all right?
I will, bro.
Absolutely.
I want 3% of the supply for $300.
Amen.
Please,
That's
sir,
my
please.
favorite. Because then you can just delete it, and then you don't feel bad if you round trip. Because you're like, well, I'm in for $300 anyway. Who cares?
Yeah, or you could just sell 2%, and you ride 1% of Valhalla. All it takes is 1% of a meme coin to change your life.
Amen.
Amen, sir.
Yep.
But alrighty. I guess that kind of covers shitters as a whole, because we need a runner.
We could talk about Simon's cat. I mean, I'm not like a huge fan of it, but I think it could run. I'll just preface it.
Pre-sale.
You
So
had to.
sad.
Well, first of all, there was like a Cabal private one, private.
Yeah.
But then otherwise, it was token and Floki whales. So probably just like one person, like Binance, just that holds most of the Floki supply or whatever it is. But
There was a pretty crazy snipe on that. I don't know if you saw the thread.
Terminator, he's back. Terminator.
Terminator?
Yeah, it was Terminator.
That shit was insane, dude.
What a god. I was like,
a lot
people were like showing the Maestro hits on it. I'm like, bro, you are not competing with the BNB old guard. Like,
No.
if you're gonna hit any snipe, it is not against the BSC old guard. Like that's
Who is
crazy.
that? I've never heard of him before.
Just like Izan, who else? Babber, Pun was, but like Terminator, all these old, like the people that became the ETH terrorizers, like Keltiv and stuff. They all start on BSC. And
A lot of people are
interesting.
pushing the narrative that like BNB is going to have this resurgence with that coin coming out, but also CZ getting out of jail. I guess like they were saying like even today like he's going to like a
yeah, he got a halfway
like a
house.
halfway house. I don't know if that's the right term. Makes it sound like he's an alcoholic or a drug addict, but you know what I mean. Like maybe that would happen today. Maybe he's getting out soon, but I don't even know if that does enough to the chain. But it's interesting.
Yeah, people were speculating it was weird that they launched, Simon's cat has all this Binance backing, and that CZ kind of got like halfway out today. I'm like, I don't know, man. I think he's definitely... Well, the thing is, he's not a part of Binance anymore, like, technically, so it's going to be interesting to see how he acts. Because, like, he could almost become a Justin Sun. Because, like, he's not the CEO of Binance anymore, right? So... I don't think he's going to do that, but it'll be interesting to see if he acts more like he used to, kind of more like a Vitalik, or if he acts way more degen, like a Suzu or something.
I think I remember him like kind of tweeting stuff, like before he, got his sentence.
He was
that he
definitely
was like, interested in projects again.
Yeah,
like he was looking to, be kind of more part of crypto, in a sense again, not like part of a company. So it should be interesting. BNB definitely just has some good things lining up for it. Like CZ could just become a Justin Sun, which I mean that would be
Being a school or something.
He is. He's
He-
making some
yeah.
academy thing. That was his new project, which is hilarious. But I think the funny thing is people will shit on ETH and then be so crazy about BNB, and it's like the exact same thing. I mean, the coin has done better. I'll give you that. But like BNB chain is just an EVM. I mean, like your wallet's the same and whatnot. So it's kind of funny.
It's all the same shit, man. That's why if a new L1 or an L2 comes out, it's like, okay, cool, raise $300 million
Monad?
Val. Yeah, Monad is good. I like the Monad guys. I've been to
I
a
like
few of
them
their
too.
events. Yeah,
They're good guys.
I like Kevin, aka Intern. But
Monad's
yeah,
our
honestly,
last hope.
Yeah, they didn't. I didn't get to invest, so I'm sad about that too. Maybe I need to just get my Twitter game up.
If that shit
I
doesn't
think-
work out, I don't know what's gonna work.
I think
Yeah.
people, honestly though, I think this cycle people just aren't as interested in bidding shit like that. Like, why bid this thing that comes out at 5 billion FDV when I could buy WIF at 20K? I mean, like, honestly, it's just like, I think it's kind of going back to what we were saying. I think people just aren't interested in bidding that stuff anymore. We're hungry for the X's. We're hungry for the thousands of percents rather than a huge liquid 2x. Because, like, I mean, the whales, sure, but yeah.
Yeah, you're not gonna see little Joey who just got off his job at Trader Joe's buying $500 billion Val fucking layer 1.
Targeting plus 50%, downside negative 1%.
Yeah, you're getting like a liquid maybe
Little long
3 or
setup
4x off that.
So when is this Moon thing coming out?
Next week, baby.
Oh, next week. Dude, this is
Oh
great timing.
shit!
I don't think I told you what it is. I DM No Face, but I'll DM if.
You need to DM me, bro. I've been hungry for that.
Selling this DM on Twitter for 5K pop.
You would
Alright,
actually
hit me
be
up.
arrested.
Can you answer this? So if you can't,
Yes.
like, obviously tell us everything about it. You don't want to leak too much.
Well, wait. When does this podcast come out, though?
This will be out tomorrow, I think.
Okay, yeah, I can't say anything then.
Yeah. All right, answer this question if you can. Would it be very advantageous to, like, get on this shit, like, the second it drops? Like, do we want to be, like, at our PCs, ready to rock, get on this as quickly as possible?
Yes.
Okay.
But there will also be ample amount of opportunities after that. But okay, how do I say this without getting fired from my job?
Just don't. It's okay.
Yeah, I just won't say it. But yes, you should definitely be there. I already have your name on the list, LTR.
Get wrecked, nerve. Get wrecked, on.
Wow, dude.
I'm joking. He'll let you on.
Yeah.
But it's we'll link it. We'll link it in the podcast because I mean the branding's great. It's hilarious. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's been a joy to watch the tweets come out.
Yeah, it's just me and my boss shit posting all day long. So it's fun, man. And this is the first thing I've actually like ever like truly launched. Like, yeah, I work for MetaDrop, but this is something that I'm like publicly facing, that I'm like, part of the main idea, and I really think it's going to do really well. It's not value extractive whatsoever.
That's
and
good.
That's like,
like to hear
super
that.
important, because Pumped on Fun is just incredibly value extractive. I wish I could say it, but maybe I don't know. Maybe run back another pod in like 3 or 4 months from now when the product's gone really well.
Yeah, when you're the next
guys.
Aeon or whatever, come back on.
that'd be awesome.
Remember us. Don't fade our DMs.
I'm really bad at answering DMs, so sorry. It's not intentional. I'm just
We'll
absolutely
spam
fucking terrible
braps
at
to
it.
you. It's okay.
Yeah, I have like 764 unopened text messages, so
I think my Telegram has like 5,000 unread notifications at least.
5,000, bro. I
Yeah.
have 260,000.
Oh,
Bro?
great.
Well,
My phone be bugging sometimes now. It's like the number's too big for the little red circle, so it just, I don't know. It's pretty funny.
I miss a lot of text messages on my phone just because of Telegram going insane.
Same.
yeah, dude. If your normie friend's Eddie on Telegram, guarantee you talk to him a lot more.
Yeah.
Oh, sometimes I'll see my
I agree.
normie friends like join Telegram, and I don't want
I
them to
hate
know
that.
my Anon account because I'm like technically not doxxed. So like I'll block them because you can search people
right
by
away.
number. So I'll literally block my friends
Yes,
on Telegram.
Dude. Oh my god, dude! I
Actually,
have people
that just
message me like, "Bro, this
Who are
is-
you?
Why is your name this?"
Bro, if they see me as a like, they're gonna think I'm a furry. Like honestly, I think some people worry about that. Like I honestly though, like I kind of roleplay as a dog on the internet. Like I don't. If I tell people that, I don't think it's gonna go over well.
Well, when we started this pod, I think maybe it was before we were recording, CoinGurruu was trying to find our Twitters, and he's like, "You guys got to put your Twitters in your Telegram bio, just make it easier for people to follow you." And I was like, "Yeah, I got a couple normie friends that I talk to on Telegram, and like family members. I don't want them fucking looking at my Twitter at all." I'm
Yeah, but
not
all they
doing
have to
that.
just search is LTR, right?
Yeah. For him, yeah.
Yeah. I'd
That's
actually
okay.
see-
I just block them the second they come up.
Yeah, I'm gonna start doing that. That's a really good idea.
I'm not joking. Like, because it gives you that notification. It's like, so and so has joined Telegram. I'm like, okay, well, you're getting blocked. It could be like my best friend too. I don't care.
So I see the branding on Moonshot. Are you like heavily allocated to Brainlet? Like, are you a big Brainlet maxi? There's obvious correlation.
Yeah,
between
I
them.
mean, I got in at like 100K market cap.
Jesus.
Shout out NFT
And-
WAP, Nifty WAP,
Yeah,
OG.
Nifty, yeah. He was telling us to buy for a long time, and then I never bought, and then I finally bought, and yeah, I think I only have like 0.2% of the supply left. I had 0.5 0.5 or 0.6 or something like that.
Okay,
So
I'm
we're
DMing
both
Nifty
fat
that you're
bagging
Jeet. So
stuff. He said we could take profits, just don't be a fag about it.
honestly,
I love Nifty though.
Do you do much with LPing when you're trading? Like let's say you're up insane on a coin, the liquidity is not great. Like, do you try to LP out one-sided or?
Absolutely not.
No.
No.
You just
Never in a
Jeet
million
that
years.
shit. Okay.
Yeah, well, dude, I'm respectful at least. Like,
Yeah.
I sell in like 1 to 3K clips like every few hours generally, and I think that's respectable. And if you're coming at me for that, just go fuck. Not you, but anybody else listening to this, go fuck yourself. That's respectful.
everyone's
selling.
allowed to sell but you. That's what it always feels like in crypto.
Right.
I know, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll get DMs about like, cause I'll like be up a lot in a coin, I'll start taking profit, and they're like, "You're cheating," and then like I'll find their wallets on Arkham, and they're like selling before me. I'm like, "Bro, you're just trying to front run me. Like, shut up."
Yeah. What do you expect us not to take profits? Like, dude, we have bills to pay. We got food to eat, man.
Yeah, the biggest thing is like, why are we here? To make money.
Yeah. And friends, of course.
Yeah, of course. I mean, yeah, for sure. Definitely make connections, but like, even still, if we're still all here for money. Like, we'll, we won't ruin relationships for money, but we're still all here for money.
Now, I'll ruin a relationship for like $40 million, but outside of that, anything less, no, you'll see me my bro.
That's a decent amount.
Yeah, that's a lot amount. Yeah, I don't really. If I had $40 million, I don't really need friends. I'm just gonna like just sit on my
buy
pile of
friends.
cash every day. Yeah, you can buy friends exactly.
I'm getting
Or
that
buy
new
some
AI
boys in
necklace
Miami.
thing. You know, the little thing that it's just like your friend on your neck. I think that's
I have
gonna be
not
great.
seen that. Is
Oh,
it
that
an
thing's
NFT?
so funny, bro. No, it's
Yeah,
like
I
it was
necklace.
this new startup that came out, and it's sort of like a necklace, like it's like a chain, and it's got like an Amazon Alexa type thing hooked on it, and it's just an AI agent. You just have conversations with it. It's so sad.
That's ridiculous.
It's
Is it
so
called-
sad.
Wire. Wait. Oh yeah, I found it. Okay.
Yeah, dude, the video is so funny. If you guys haven't seen that, if you're listening, that thing.
It came out 3 days ago.
Oh,
I
it's
raised
so
$2.5 million. Always listening necklace. Interesting.
always listening. That's
It's only $99, dude. Friends are a lot more expensive than that. You got
yeah, that's
you
true.
go to dinner with your buddies and you pick it up because you're in crypto, and $99 for. a
I
friend.
don't pick
Never
it up
tell
because
'em.
I am in crypto.
Never tell them.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, I lost all my money in crypto. Help me out.
And I've said it on this pod before, dude. Like, you tell any normie you're into crypto, all they see is just like bad shit happening, so they just automatically assume poor. It's great. It's really great. No one will ask you questions
Well, I mean,
about
we kind
it.
of think the
They
same
you're
things when like
poor.
someone tells you, "Oh, I'm an entrepreneur." You just know they're like a bum. I mean, no offense, but like, "Oh, I got
Yeah,
my own
people-
clothing brand. It's got like 10 followers on Instagram." Like, I don't know. Whole thing's
Oh.
like, I just tell people I do like online marketing, and then it's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, that's why you work remote and on your computer, but you still have like a normal job."
Just use fintech. Fintech's the best.
Fintech.
Yeah,
Financial technologies.
I'm a quantitative
Well-
analyst.
Jesus. Well, all right, we're hitting the hour, so I'm probably going to end it here.
Yeah,
Mr.
interview just got
CoinGurruu,
cut out.
thank you for coming on. It was a really good time
Yeah, it
meeting
was
you
so
and
fun.
talking to you today.
Thanks for having me. I'll do.
Yeah, for sure.
Can I do my little exit?
Yeah.
You can't. Well, stay in the recording stay in the recording. Don't leave, but
Okay.
yes, you can give your exit.
I'm gonna put my podcast voice on. You ready?
Yeah, let me hear it.
Thanks for having me, gentlemen. It's been an absolute pleasure tonight. What a great podcast. Whoever's listening in, I would highly recommend to listen to the next one. Tune in. Have a great guest, great group of lads here. Wish you guys the best in the future. And Trench Talks, God bless you.